Shout out to Kevin Smith for sending me this story, and I'm very glad you sent me this story because last year I did a video. It was last January, I believe. I did a video, and I was talking about how this Me Too thing can backfire for women in the workplace, where a lot of men will not want to hire women because of fear that they could do something that could get them fired and taint the company. Well, this article that came out on May 17th is pretty much reflecting what I said. And back when I made that video, that was just an opinionated video. I didn't read from an article. That's just something I guess would actually happen. But now it seems like that might actually occur. Because listen to this. Me Too backlash is getting worse. A new study found that 60% of male managers said they are uncomfortable working closely with women. Now, mind you, most of the managers of these companies or these big major companies and CEOs are men. I just wanted to throw that out there. It says a stunning 60%. No, that's actually not stunning. I'm actually surprised is not even higher than that. A stunning 60% of male managers said they're uncomfortable mentoring, working one-on-one, and socializing with women at work, according to a survey released Friday morning by leanin.org, the women's advocacy group founded by Facebook executive Sheryl Sandberg. Now, that's not surprising. Look at it. It says uncomfortable mentoring, working one-on-one, or even socializing with women at work. See what the Me Too thing has done? And then you know what they're going to do? They're going to come out and say, well, you men just need to control your urges. Well, when we're being professional, you'll still try to find a way to try to say that we're sexually harassing you or sexually assaulting you. It's gotten to the point where we can't even say hi to some women in the workplace without them claiming that we're doing something provocative to them. That's an increase from last year when 46% of male managers said they were uneasy working with women after several prominent men lost their jobs over sexual misconduct claims. In this year's survey, men also said they were much more likely to hesitate to travel or have dinner with a junior woman for work. It might seem like men avoiding women at the office is a fine solution to the problem of sexual harassment, but men still overwhelmingly hold positions of power at work. For better or worse, women need their support to get ahead. Notably, women are rarely asked if they're afraid to interact with men, even though they're mainly the ones who reported harassment and assault. Even before Me Too, men were more likely to mentor or advise other men, said Rachel Thomas, president of leanin.org. Men were also more likely to sponsor more junior male employees, meaning they talked them up to others, paving the way for promotion. Those cliches about men doing deals and schmoozing off the golf course exist for a reason. Well, you know why they were comfortable doing that around other men? Because they weren't going out there because they knew that those men wouldn't come back and, say that they were trying to assault them in any kind of way just by them saying, hey, how are you doing? How's your day? Because notice that a lot of these Me Too claims or whatever that's getting a lot of these men fired and whatnot are just that, a bunch of claims. And usually when you find out what the claim is like, really, that's how they ended up getting fired. And the reason why they're firing them is because they don't want any kind of media firestorm coming down on the company. Trust me, if this was a person that has given years to the company and done a very good job, and that's the one thing they got fired over, do you really think that the CEO or whoever handles that wants to get rid of them? They're doing it because they have to save the company at the end of the day, no matter how good that person performed. And that's what this Me Too thing has done. It has become a huge stain on society at large. I told y'all it's way bigger than what people think. Now, this is the part where it starts to transcend into corporate America, the corporate side of things. This is taken out of Hollywood. Let's take Hollywood out of the equation. Now we're going into the corporate side. Now it's affecting businesses. And it also puts a lot of these male managers and people who are in charge in very tight binding positions because of what Me Too has done. That men are doing even less of this work in the wake of Me Too adds insult to injury. Thomas said, if men want to be a part of the solution, then pulling away from women is the wrong thing to do. Is it? Why exactly men are pulling back from women isn't immediately clear from the data. 36% of the men surveyed said they avoid mentoring or socializing with a woman because of how it could look to others. Others might feel a heightened awareness that their actions could make female colleagues uncomfortable. Some men also like to claim that women are fabricating claims. Well, I would agree with that. I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Those fears are largely unfounded, Thomas says. She points out that the same myths surround sexual assault. False accusations make up a very low percentage of reported rapes according to several studies. In line with other types of crimes, when you factor in the percentage of sexual assaults that go unreported, the proportion of false reports go down even further. Well, how about this? How about the women who are in the workplace that are sexually harassing the men? I'm almost certain that actually happens, but you know what? They'll try to tell the man to just dust it off and be a man, right? See, that's the hypocrisy coming in. That's the double standard, the contradiction. And considering the negative attention and career risk for women who speak up, I have spoken with dozens of women who lost jobs or have been blacklisted from entire industries or even wind up homeless. The idea that women voluntarily make up harassment for personal gain seems even more preposterous. Is it? Let's be real here. A lot of the stuff that's been going on with this Me Too have been nothing more but a bunch of lies anyway. Bill Cosby and his whole thing is a perfect catalyst for all of those claims. In the wake of Me Too, men are simply afraid to interact with women at work, said John Singer, a lawyer who gained some attention for his work with men who have been fired for sexual misconduct. His firm also represents women in sexual harassment cases. Me Too has had a chilling effect on the relationship between men and women in the workplace. Men are either scared to be alone with female colleagues or clients are more skittish about what to say. He said, adding that male and female clients both have told him that women are getting excluded from meetings and social outings. That isolation isn't just keeping women from moving up, but making it harder for them to simply do their jobs, meeting with clients or teaming up on sales calls. For the survey released Friday, Lean In partnered with SurveyMonkey on 2 online polls of more than 8,000 adults conducted in February and March. The results were weighted to reflect the demographic composition of adults over 18 in the U.S. Lean In did ask senior women how they felt about interacting with more junior men. Women didn't seem to have much of an issue. They had no hesitation having one-on-one meeting with men. Meanwhile, men were 12 times more hesitant to have a one-on-one meeting with women who was junior to them compared to more junior men. See, that's the thing. Women, they're going to have a different position on this because they're not the ones that are going to face the backlash of having a man be the reason why they're fired. It's the complete opposite. And see, it's the thing that maybe, hey, that woman probably isn't one of those Me Too chicks or the one who's going to be quickly to throw a sexual assault or sexual misconduct claim on a man. But because it's gone so far into what it has turned into over the last 2 years, it's a risk. So a lot of these men don't want to have the risk or take the risk of, conducting business with these women out of fear that they might lose their job. And, you lose their job, lose their livelihood. Everything that they've worked for up until this point has gone down the drain. The mentorship and guidance of more senior leaders, many of whom are men, is crucial in helping women advance. Ultimately, getting more women into leadership positions will help lead to less sexual harassment, Thomas said, noting that organizations with more gender equality have fewer problems with misconduct. Thomas and Lean In are encouraging more men to take the initiative and mentor women, but it is worth noting that these relationships can go awry. In one recent study, 1/3 of women surveyed that a male mentor has sexually harassed them. I wonder how many of them were lying. I'm just like I said, in this era of Me Too, you just gotta question how many of them are telling the truth. The problem of men avoiding women is acute on Wall Street, already a boys' club, where men are apparently walking on eggshells around women, according to a report from Bloomberg late last year. It's hard to get men to talk about this. Some told Bloomberg anonymously that they're trying to be like Vice President Mike Pence, who notoriously avoids one-on-one interactions with women in social settings. Some said they won't meet with women in windowless rooms or get on elevators alone with them, according to the report. One said he won't even have dinner with women under the age of 35. This behavior could wind up backfiring, as the story notes. Treating women differently in the workplace can end up forming the basis of a discrimination suit. There's an easy fix for this, Thomas said. If you don't want to have dinner with women alone, don't have dinner with men alone either. Go out for breakfast. Treat both men and women equally in how you socialize. If you're uneasy meeting alone in your office with a woman, leave the door open. Men and women usually know where the line is of what is appropriate. My real message is get over it. Thomas said, you know what respectable behavior is. If for some reason you're still reticent, don't use that as an excuse. There are easy ways to give women equal access to support. And see, they truly believe that that's an easy fix because it's coming from a woman's standpoint. They don't know what it is to be on the receiving end of having a sexual misconduct claim thrown onto them, even when they're innocent. And the thing is, once that gets out there in this era of Me Too and with the court of public opinion, it's hard to try to get away from that. That's what happened with Bill Cosby. Once the court of public opinion got out there, it was a done deal. Everyone was against Bill Cosby, but now I think a lot of people, unfortunately, now at this late stage in the game, that people are actually now realizing that Bill Cosby is innocent of what they convicted him of. It was just all a bunch of hearsay. And that's what a lot of these Me Too chicks are on. Nothing but a bunch of hearsay. So I can't even say that I'm against what the men are doing or trying to avoid. They're trying to save their livelihoods here because they've seen what this Me Too thing has done. And a lot of the women, like the person who was leaving those quotes in this article, is coming from a place that's really standoffish and not so much understanding. And that's what they're not getting. But I understand what they're saying because, like I said, I touched on this 2 years ago. I said it not 2 years ago, last year, that this is going to affect women and men relationships in the workplace, and it's going to make men not want to hire them or make men not want to work around them, especially in a corporate setting, because all a woman has to do nowadays is say that he did this and he did that, and it could be a flat out lie, and it'll be believed, and sometimes it won't even be believed, but on the outside looking in, they'll have them believe that she was telling the truth because they ended up firing the person that she made the claims on. Because they don't want to have a stain come onto the company, because that means the company could probably lose endorsements, or the company can lose sponsors behind this, or they'll have all those women and feminist groups come after them, and they don't want to deal with that. So they just cut what they consider to be a loss, unfortunately. So I completely understand why those male managers would feel that way. I completely understand. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.